The boy lay on the ground and pretended to be dead, attracting the hungry wild dogs. As the wild dogs continued to approach, the boy pulled out the steel knife from his waist and stood up to fight the wild dogs to the death. During the tearing process, the knife in his hand accidentally dropped. Thanks to the boy's agility, he turned around several times to get the steel knife again and slaughtered the wild dog to the ground. After returning home, the boy who had successfully hunted looked at his father expectantly. He thought he would be praised, but unexpectedly he was scolded. It turns out that the earth at this time has been polluted by poisonous gas, and there are not many humans and animals left. Therefore, after killing prey, humans must immediately remove the entrails of the prey, otherwise the meat of the prey will be contaminated, and humans will die if they eat it. After seeing what had happened, his father asked the boy to skin the wild dog, and then went to exchange food with the landowner Ugolin. But what the boy didn't expect was that Ugolin took advantage of the fact that he had a gun in his hand and was not unreasonable at all. After tearing the dog's skin and swallowing it, he gave his father 2 small fishes. When the boy saw this, he secretly took away the grenades collected by Ugolin, but unexpectedly, early the next morning, Ugolin came to the door with a gun and asked the boy to hand over the grenade. Hearing that the boy had used the grenade, Ugolin was so angry that he not only forced the boy's father to kneel down to him, but also stuffed the barrel of the gun into his throat. At the critical moment, the boy offered the most valuable towel in the family to save his father's life. After being out of danger, the father slapped the boy angrily, which made the boy very sad, so he secretly swore in his heart that he would teach the old man Ugolin a lesson. Since he couldn't find food in the past few days, his father, who had been eating grass roots for a long time, became thinner and thinner. Over time, he became ill suddenly one night. In order not to die outside, the father dragged his body home and saw his son sleeping soundly. He quietly came to his favorite desk and wrote the words for his son with his last breath. In the morning, the son woke up and went to check the net bag as soon as possible. He saw a big fish in the net and excitedly showed it to his father, but his father did not respond. Only then did the boy know that his father was dead. Not wanting to accept the death of his only relative, the boy didn't work up the courage to get close to his father's body until night. He took out the notebook from his father's body, put on his eyes like his father before his death, and tried to read the words in the diary seriously. But his father never taught him how to read, so after reading for a long time, he couldn't see anything. In this regard, he could only wrap up his father, drag him to the middle of the river and bury him, and then find another way to obtain the diary information. After the boy threw a grenade into the lake and exploded, a large number of corpses appeared on the lake, but the boy showed no fear because to him, this place was both a fish pond and a cemetery, and his father was buried here. Thinking that his father had passed away and no one cared about him, the boy came to the house of Ugolin, who always bullied his father and himself. Ugolin saw the boy and kept laughing at him. The boy who came for revenge was not angry, but asked Ugolin, is Lin literate? Because the boy's father left a diary before his death, the boy wanted to know the contents.
No, non posso leggere, brutta merda. Allora? E allora non mi serve un cazzo.
After the 2 sticks went down, Ugolin was completely unable to resist and was hung by the boy on the lake to enjoy the sunbathing. The boy then ransacked Ugolin's house and, after picking out a few things he found handy, embarked on an adventure to find someone who could tell the secret of his father's diary. After traveling for a while, the boy came ashore at a shoal and found a row of scrapped cars parked in an orderly manner in the forest. It was something the boy had never seen before. Curious about this, the boy sat on it and fell asleep unknowingly. When he woke up, it was the next morning. In order to find the person as soon as possible, the boy planned to sail the boat and continue moving forward, but when he arrived at the shore, he found that his boat had been sailed. He ran away, and the boy had no choice but to move forward on foot. After walking for an unknown amount of time, they finally saw someone. The 2 brothers also noticed the boy. Upon seeing this, the fat boy walked towards the boy with cabbage and persuaded the boy to put down his weapons in exchange for food. The boy, who had been hungry for 2 days, couldn't resist. During the meal, the boy learned that his boat was in the hands of 2 brothers, but the 2 said that they did not mean any harm and were just keeping it safe for the boy to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. Hearing this, the boy believed it and immediately took out his father's diary, hoping that the 2 people in front of him could read it to him. The fat guy among them saw this and realized that this was a good opportunity to control the boy. In exchange for reading the diary, they first took away the boy's gun, then took the boy to the warehouse and assigned him a difficult task. Women were imprisoned in cages, deprived of food and clothing. The boy is the new younger brother of the 2 fat brothers. He is responsible for guarding the woman and helping the 2 brothers plow the land every day. After doing this, the boy can listen to Big Fatty read a page of the diary written by his father during his lifetime, and learn whether his strict father loved him or not. But in order to take advantage of the boy, Big Fat only read 1 page at a time. The content he read was also unreliable, which made the boy suspicious, so he ran to find the girl in the cage, hoping that the girl could read. Unfortunately, the girl can't read either and only knows her name is Maria. But in order to get out of the cage, the girl hurriedly told the boy that her father was very old and probably knew what was written in the diary. After hearing this, the boy let the girl out, but before they could leave, they were stopped by Big Fatty. Seeing that the boy had lost control, Big Fatty snatched the boy's diary and started to argue with his younger brother, Little Fatty, playing with the boy. The boy killed Big Fatty with a knife on his hip. Little Fatty saw this and knocked the boy down with a shovel to avenge his brother. At the critical moment, thanks to Maria's timely intervention, the boy was not strangled to death. In this way, the boy followed Maria home, but when he opened the door, he found that Maria's father had hanged himself. Maria, who also lost her family, went with the boy to find someone who could read. Unfortunately, before they could find anyone, the two were caught by the killer in the forest. The killer took the two to an abandoned chemical plant. Upon seeing this, the killer's boss left Maria in the house, and the boy was put in a cage. But even so, the boy did not forget to look for literate people, and directly stopped the killer and asked him if he was literate. The killer took the diary but did not answer the boy. He locked the boy in a cage and turned away. He waited until night before taking out the diary given by the boy. However, before he could read a few pages, he was stopped by the boss, and the boss came. The purpose is to let the killer kill the boy tomorrow. The night passed quickly, and the killer came to the place where the boy was imprisoned early in the morning, but he did not kill the boy. Instead, he sat by the cage and read the diary written by the boy's father. One of the passages made the boy understand his father's silent love.
Era quello che volevo. Gli ho insegnato che non deve amarmi, non deve amare nessuno, perché l'amore ci fa essere deboli. Sono cose che non posso spiegarti. Devo tenermi tutto dentro. Così forse potrai farcela. Così forse potrai farcela anche senza di me. Io invece mi porterò dentro fino alla fine l'odore della tua pelle.
After reading this passage, the killer's conscience was awakened and he thought of his dead child. The killer opened the cage and let the boy leave and helped deal with the accomplices outside. Then he came to the boss, eradicated the scourge that had been threatening him, and finally shot himself. At the same time, the boy who was released finally found Maria and quickly took her away by boat. From then on, the two depended on each other and became a family.